Ladies and gentlemen, week 7 in the NFL. We're here for Picked Off, presented by the Gauntlet, presented by Sideline Sports, where we go through all the games and make our picks. I got Jay and Dom with me tonight, as always. Also, guys, make sure to tune in to the show on Friday for all the best NFL stuff. We had our guy Dave on last week. It was a great show. Looking forward to another great one this week. But what's up, guys?
Hey, what's going on? Let's see here. Who Lone Wolf? JJ Lone Wolf last week. I know he
I meant to
committed
ask y'all before the show, do we have a running total?
JJ is supposed to be keeping up with that shit, but I asked him about it and he never got back to me. So we'll have to figure it out. We've got to figure it out by the end of the season. So,
Yeah, I'll go back and count what I have at least.
Or all of us could just count what we have and then report back. But anyway, guys, let's get into it. Let's get into Thursday Night Football. So, first matchup, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars going up against the New Orleans Saints. First of all, Jacksonville, we had questions about them, but another impressive performance against Indianapolis. So they sweep the Colts. And week before in London, getting the win over Buffalo was huge for them. So Jacksonville looks like they're getting right on the right track. And then New Orleans, not really looking like the team people expected. Let's be real. Like during the offseason, it was all about Derek Carr. It was all about the Saints winning the NFC South. They don't look like the best team in the NFC South. So personally, I am going to go ahead and go with Jacksonville here. Dom, who do you got and why?
I got Jacksonville.
Okay.
They're starting to roll now. Let's see.
Is he looking for stats or something?
Wait. Say what?
Dom, I think you're lagging a little bit. Jay, who you got? We'll come back to Dom.
Hey, Princess, what's going on?
So, Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Jags on this one. Even if Trevor Lawrence doesn't play, I think that they still have enough tools to get it done. Damian Pierce actually was able to run the ball a little bit against the Saints last week, so Travis Etienne should actually have a good game. They should ride him. And then also another thing that I noticed last week when the Texans pressured Derek Carr when they sent the blitz, he didn't do too good. So that's something that the Jaguars can actually pick up on. I'm going to take the Jags in this one. It may be surprisingly close. I'll say 20-17 Jaguars. Saints will put up a fight, but I think they get a fourth straight win.
Okay, so I'm picking the Jags. You're picking the Jags. Dom, are you also picking the Jags, or are you lone wolf in this one?
I think Dom's on a lag.
Yeah, looks like it. Next game, guys. Browns against the Colts. The Browns. You got Jacksonville. Okay, so the Browns taking on the Colts. Anthony Richardson out for the season with a shoulder injury, and Minshew will be taking over there. And then Cleveland with the win over San Francisco. Such a crazy game last week. But who we got in this one? This seems like an interesting matchup.
The Colts defense is still pretty good. But the Browns, last I checked, I believe they're ranked number 1 in the league right now. Even if Deshaun Watson doesn't play, and I know you're not too high on PJ Walker, but they should be able to beat the Colts. Then again, you just never know with the Colts. You don't. This same team that beat Mahomes last year. You know, they're just one of those. They just have that capability to pull out that surprise win in Indy, as a matter of fact. You know, but I'm going to take the safe pick though. I'm going to go Browns. I'm gonna go Browns. It may come down to a field goal like last week. I'll say 23-20 Cleveland.
I mean, PJ almost single-handedly costed them the game last week. I mean, he tried to throw a pass in a triple coverage in the end zone, ended up being incomplete. Threw a lot of passes that should have been caught, a lot of inaccurate balls, but they ended up pulling it out. So really impressive by the Browns. So I'm also going to pick them there. Their defense has been unbelievable. They have the best defense in the NFL. They're dominant. They create turnovers. They get you off the field. I'm picking the Browns. Dom, who you got?
I've got the Browns. Last week was the absolute epitome or, shining example of why the Browns didn't actually need Deshaun Watson to beat what many of us thought to be the best team in the NFL. Also, there was rumors about which one plays for Frisco? That's Nick Bosa, right? Or is that Joey?
Nick plays for Frisco.
I can't remember. Either way, PJ Walker had said something about Bosa saying words that he shouldn't be saying. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, shout out to the Browns. And simple fact is their defense is better than Indiana's. Jonathan Taylor is still not up to speed, and the Browns are riding high from that win against the Niners. I love that we saw. Love that. Love that for the NFL.
Yep, crazy week last week for sure. Next game, Buffalo Bills taking on the New England Patriots. The Patriots are an absolute disaster. The Bills are playing really well, even though they kind of got away with it last week, guys. I really think that the Giants got robbed in that game.
That might be a topic on Friday.
Pass interference was totally obvious. Guys all over Waller. He's grabbing him and all over his body. And he didn't even have his head turned to look at the ball. Like, his whole back was turned to the play. So, yeah, Buffalo definitely got away with one. But I think that against the Patriots, they'll get back on the right track, and they will win this game decisively.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bills. Shout out to Cortland Matthew Griffin. He predicted that the Patriots would only win 5 games this season, and here we are at week 7, and they only have 1 win. I think he was a little too generous because I have them at 4 wins as of right now. But yeah, this is definitely the Bills. This is definitely the Bills game right here. I think that their offense actually gets back on. They feed the ball to James Cook more to set up Diggs getting open. Really, really hope they start throwing it to Gabe Davis more. But it's not even. And Mac Jones is terrible. Like, he's not even Mac 10 no more. He's a pellet gun. And I still stick by what I say. If Belichick is done after this year, so is Mac Jones. He'll be holding a clipboard somewhere. See, this is the problem. The problem is people put so much hype behind Mac Jones because he came from Alabama. Because the standard at Alabama, right? But in truth, he was a 1-year starter. He won a national championship, but he was a 1-year starter. He didn't do damage like Tua and Hurts did. You know what I mean? And so, he just got to the pros and he just got exposed, like that first year, and he's just regressed since then. I don't believe in him, so. But
I don't really agree with that. I don't put it all on Mac. I think you're right to some degree, but I also think that the Patriots' issues, which they've had for years, was masked by Tom Brady. I mean, you look at these guys that the Patriots have at skill positions, they don't develop wide receivers. They never really have. That's why you have guys like Chris Hogan, for example, guys that come off the street that nobody even knows who they are, and Tom Brady makes them a household name because he's Tom Brady. But they've really been having these issues the whole time. Tom Brady just hid it from people. So, to be honest with you, the Patriots just have no mojo on offense, and they don't have anybody on the roster on offense, on skill position, running back, tight end, maybe tight end, maybe Hunter Henry.
Maybe Hunter Henry, yeah.
But nobody in the receiver core you're looking at, we got a game plan to stop this guy. They don't have anybody like that.
When he's healthy.
Without Tom Brady, the Patriots are just in disarray.
Don, what you got?
The Bills, like you guys said, the Patriots are bad. I love it. This continues my favorite era of Patriots football. They're awful. I call them a last place team. They look like a last place team. I was Googling just now trying to find the official name. All I can find is poor man's Big Mac. He's not a Big Mac. He's a McDouble. Add mac sauce. Add shredded lettuce. And shredded lettuce, mac sauce. I forget. But yeah, that's Mac Jones. Y'all know my feelings about Mac Jones since he got drafted. The man's ceiling is so low, he has to duck when he gets in a room. And he's not Tom Brady. And Bill Belichick's, and this is self-admitted, and Bill Belichick is pretty rare to admit to his shortcomings, but he will tell you, if you asked him right now, you wouldn't even have to shake him. He has failed at developing wide receivers. Horribly.
100%.
So does he need this win badly? Yes. Will he get it? No.
Nope, not a chance. All right, next game. Commanders taking on the New York Giants. The New York Giants almost coming from behind to shock the Buffalo Bills, but it was not to be while the Commanders got a win over the Atlanta Falcons. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Commanders in this one. The Giants, I feel like if they would have got that win against Buffalo, it could have really boosted their morale, but doesn't really look like it's going to happen. I think that the Commanders, at the end of the day, they're just going to be able to get something going. And, I just don't trust the Giants to be able to put any points on the board or do anything. So I'm going to take the Commanders.
Yeah, I got the Commanders here also. Pretty much the division is going to be out of – I still think it's the Eagles to lose, but some slip-up games, and then if Dallas ends up winning a couple, it's still out of them too. But the Commanders, they're basically fighting for a wild card slot. They may or may not get it. I believe they finished a game or two out last season. And, they know what they got with Sam Howell. And he's not terrible. He's not, great. I love his work ethic out there, but still small sample size. Still need to see more out of him. But better than what they've had, in recent years. So can't blame him for, what happened so far. But yeah, I got the Commanders in this one. The Giants are horrible. I know they got hosed last week. But no, the Commanders all the way on this one. I'll take Commanders 27-10. Dom?
I've got the Commanders as well. What's the over-under? 2.5. I've got the Command under on total score, which is 39. I don't think the Commanders are quite as good as their 3-3 record. I also don't think the Giants are quite as bad as their 1-5 record. Really, like Jay said, it's the Eagles, maybe Dallas, and then those other two teams. Obviously, the Giants are not a threat. Commanders, I don't think so either. I really don't see two wild cards coming out of that NFC East. And I like Sam Howell.
Well, it's definitely impossible because, obviously, Dallas is probably going to get the 5th seed, and Seattle will probably get the 6th seed. So that 7th seed is totally up for grabs for anybody who wants it. But anyway, let's move on, guys. Let's go to
the delineation between the best team in every one of the divisions in the NFC and the next best team. It's a because Dallas, you're not good.
All right, let's move on to the next game.
Uh-huh.
Baltimore Ravens taking on the Detroit Lions. Ravens 3-point favorites. So I gotta say, when it comes to the Ravens, good thing JoJo's not here, because I gotta say I'm not sold on the Ravens. I don't think this team looks good. They're middle of the pack in offense in yards per game, middle of the pack in points per game. They average something like 21 points per game. You know, they're not really having the consistency. The receivers have dropped passes. Lamar has not been great. I don't see it. And this guy that they brought in, Ton Monken, that was at the University of Georgia before, he was the guy that was supposed to change the Ravens team. He was supposed to change the way they play offense, but I don't really see a difference from the Ravens from last year on offense. So when it comes to a game like this, I think anytime the Ravens are going to play against a high-level quarterback or a high-level offense, they're going to have a lot of issues. So I don't think they're going to be able to stop and contain Detroit. And I think that, you know, the Ravens do not just have the offensive firepower to keep up with what Detroit is going to put out. So I think Detroit wins this 31-21.
I think out of all of the lines this week, I disagree with this one the most. JJ gonna kill me for this one. But you're talking about Goff is playing lights out. The running game is there, and they may be without David Montgomery this Sunday, but they still got Jahmyr Gibbs. And then you had a Sun God who came back last week and went 8 bananas on the Bucks. You know, you're talking about a lightning fast, quick strike offense, and the Ravens are 3-point home favorites. How? That's nothing against Baltimore. I like them. But look at what the Lions are doing. If anything, if you wanted to say the Lions were a 1-point favorite, cool. I'm all right with that. You know?
But
what's up? Oh.
You got Detroit.
That's what you get at home when you're evenly matched teams. You get 3 points.
I wouldn't even say they're even. I'm gonna just say it. I don't even think they're hurt my feelings. The Lions, like I said, you know, in the headline, they're tied for the league's best record. The Lions are streaking, obviously, and I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna take them in this one. I'm gonna say 28-21. It'll be close. I'm not gonna, you know, just totally dog the Ravens or anything like that. It'll be a touchdown game. I'll say 28-21. Don, what you got?
Damn. This hurts my feelings in a variety of ways. For one, to see, I mean, we know JoJo would not pick the Lions in any way, shape, or form under any circumstance. But it makes me sad to see both of you pick the Lions and pick the Ravens. Because we struggle with mobile quarterbacks. And this is not like I even hype train bandwagon. I had this game circled as a loss, and it remains there. Just like the Seahawks, mobile quarterback. Like, would it be great if we won this game? Absolutely. I don't see it. This is a huge prove it game. I do not see it. I mean, the last time we played them, it was a close game. We lost on a NFL record long field goal, which never should have happened. But had Hollywood Brown not dropped 2 or 3 touchdown passes earlier in the game, we get blown out and feel bad about going lone wolf against my own team, because
I didn't see that coming.
It's just,
me neither.
I don't think we're quite there yet.
Even when the Lions are 5-1, you still think they're gonna still lose.
And you circled this as a loss.
I've been watching this team for 30 plus years. You've been paying attention to this team for 6 weeks.
Well, I don't know if I've been paying attention to them that long. But
before the season?
Thank you for the generosity.
Absolutely, I did. Just like I circled KC as a win.
That's fair.
All right. All right,
James,
let's move on, guys.
you got the mango.
We gotta
You
get
got
going.
We can
Gotta get
afford to
going
lose a
here.
game.
Next game, please. Oh boy, how about this one, guys? Raiders versus Bears. Justin Fields may be out, and Jimmy Garoppolo I think he went to the hospital
back.
last game, so hope he's okay. But matchup between two bad teams. I guess I'll take the Raiders. I don't know. The Bears, I really thought the Bears were going to start to get it together. I thought they were going to win last week after beating the Commanders. I'm like, okay, the Bears going to get something going. They got some winnable games down the stretch. I really thought it was possible they could go on a little run, but doesn't look like it's going to happen. I got the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Raiders also. I think 3 points is just about right. Also, um, I know there's Tyson Bagent at quarterback. Should Fields not go? I think the last report I saw was he was
Who?
questionable. Tyson Bagent. He's the backup for the Bears. He actually came in relief of him just last week. But I don't have this too high scoring at all. I don't. I'm gonna say 17-10 Raiders. I know the Raiders that Monday night game. What was it? 17-13 against the Packers. It was a 17-13 game. Yeah, I see the same thing. Only I've got the Bears only scoring 10. So I'm gonna say Raiders 17-10. I think Max Crosby goes bananas again. But it's not gonna be high scoring at all. Dom, who you got?
Raiders as well, probably by more than 3. You're right about low scoring. It is the second lowest over under. The only one, Raiders Bears is 37.5. Felks Bucks is 37. Yeah, I mean, the Bears are awful. The Raiders are not good, but as James likes to say, and credit me, the Raiders are less terrible. At least now they don't have to worry about drafting Caleb Williams. What did I say? What did I say about Caleb Williams?
Well, we actually got to talk about Caleb Williams on the show because
I said it was my saying. You like to say it and give me credit.
He did something that
He did a thing.
we're going to have to discuss on the show, but we'll get to that. So next game, guys, who we got?
Falcons Bucks.
Oh man. Here we go again.
Yep.
I'm going to take the Bucks. Bounce back, win.
Told you this division was trash.
Baker and the squad. I mean, the NFL schedule, it feels like there's been so many terrible games like every single week. Like just bad matchups. Like I'm looking for the great matchups. Like where are the great matchups at? I don't know, but I'm taking the Bucks.
Yeah, I got Bucks also. Mayfield,
because there's entire divisions that are terrible, and they have to play each other.
I know, man, but it's not just this game that I'm talking about. Like, what about Bears, Raiders, and stuff like that, and some of these other games?
Yeah,
you know,
it's
just brutal.
It's just, I mean, just looking at it overall. I mean, and we'll get to that in a minute, But Miami Philly looking like game of the week. The second game of the week I had Lions Ravens. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, last week Lions Bucks was looking like a game of the week. That actually ended up being semi one-sided. No, it was one-sided. And then Eagles Jets was like the game, right? But as far as Falcons Bucks go, I got Buccaneers. I think Mayfield bounces back and wills his team to a win in this one. I still have I had the Saints winning the division before the season, and then like Mayfield suddenly, I don't know, got a Manning gene in him or something. I don't know, but anyway, the Bucks. And the crazy part is it can still be anybody's division except for Carolina's. They're terrible, but they're unpredictable. But for this game, I got the Buccaneers. I'm going to say 23-17 Bucks. Who you got, Dom? Dom?
I got the Bucks as well. Probably the lowest scoring matchup of the entire week. It's a race to 17, so I got Bucks 18-15. No one gets in the end zone. But if you need a bye week replacement and the Bucks kicker is available, go get him.
So it's going to be a field goal shootout then.
All right, next game, guys. Steelers
right.
versus
That whole
Rams. Great
division
game.
is bad.
Or is it a great game? I think the Rams are going to take this one. I think the Steelers
Are you being facetious?
They're just not there. It's just not there, man. I think that they are a ways away from being the Steelers of the past. I'm not sure if Tomlin's going to still be there after this year. I think a lot of changes are going to be coming to this organization sooner than we think. But I just think the Rams are playing pretty well and have played pretty well throughout the season, despite their record. So I think the Rams will get this one.
Yeah, my heart wanted to take the Steelers, and also my fantasy team wanted to take the Steelers, but I'm going to go ahead and pick the Rams. You know, they did the job to the Cardinals last week. Granted, yes, it's the Cardinals, but you know, you take wins how you get them in the NFL. What can I say? But with the offense clicking, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Matt Stafford, if he can not be hurt, you know, the Rams. I got the Rams in this one. Watt probably gets him a couple of sacks, but I'm gonna take Rams. I'll say 30-17. I'll be nice and say they put 30 up on them. Go ahead, Dom.
Yet again, it's the home team gets 3 points because they're the home team. Neither one of these teams are actually very good. Rams are 3-3. Steelers are 3-2. I'll take the Rams just because they're at home. Matt Stafford is still semi-upright. Cooper Kupp is back. That running back, what's his first name? Williams. It's like Kyrell.
Kyron Williams.
Kyron
That guy's good.
Yeah, he is.
They actually just re-signed Daryl Henderson.
They re-signed Darrell Henderson.
Yeah, I'll take the Rams just because they're at home. It's an irrelevant game. Neither one of these teams are going anywhere.
All right. Next game?
Yep.
All right. Cardinals Seahawks.
Division game. It might be closer than we think, but I'll take Seattle.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Hawks in this one. The Cardinals, they know how to put up a fight, but I think it's too much Seahawks in this one. They are the second best team. I've got them the second best team in that division. I think Geno is itchy at himself for letting last week get away from him. He's going to take it out on the Cardinals. It's going to be another one-sided affair. I'll say Hawks 26-10. Dom?
Yeah, about the same. It's funny how the Bengals just keep trying to hang around now. I mean, they beat Seattle last week. Geno did not have a good game. Neither did Kyler Murray. Geno spread the ball around a little, but yeah,
Josh Cobb.
Come on, Cardinals. You're not beating Seattle.
Next game, Packers versus
Cardinals
Denver
beating
Broncos.
Dallas was their Super Bowl. Oh, by the way, Kyler Murray is coming back to practice.
Yep, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my Lord.
Packers versus Broncos.
Woo!
Packers.
Yeah, Packers. The Broncos are just looking like Colorado State. I wouldn't be surprised if it were a blowout at this point. The sad part is the Broncos defense is actually pretty decent. Their offense is just horrible. Like last week, I needed a running back and I picked up Samaje Perine and he only netted me 1 point. I gave him right back for defense. So And then Russell Wilson, it's anybody's guess what Ciara husband is doing. We know who's going to show up. We know which one's going to show up. The crazy part is he actually in the first part of the season is doing better than he did last year, but he's still not the Russ of yesteryear. And even some of y'all might say the Russ of yesteryear wasn't that impressive. That's all on you. That's your judgment, But I'm going to take the pack. Jordan Love goes wild in this one. This may be the game where he puts up his biggest career stats. Dom, who you got?
I'm going to take the Broncos just to even out kind of the bottom of that division, because I don't truly believe that the Broncos are that much worse than the Raiders or the Chargers. And I don't believe in Jordan Love, especially on the road. I mean, I don't really care one way or the other. Like, I'm not worried about the Packers. Certainly not worried about the Vikings or the Bears. Yeah, I'll take the Broncos because they're at home and experience.
All right. So Dom Lone Wolf, he is taking the Broncos.
Is Aaron Jones going to play this week or ever again?
I think Jones is actually right as of right now questionable. But of
is
course,
Aaron Jones going to play this week or ever again?
I think he's. Last time I saw, he was questionable. You may get an update on Friday.
Oh, they just signed. James Robinson.
Oh, sweet! He got a job back.
Off the scrap.
Tyler says Aaron Jones is playing. So there's your answer.
Jones. Yep. Oh wait, hang on. Yep. Okay. Aaron Jones is playing. Cool.
Next game.
Let me pop back in.
Finally, a decent matchup.
Lag.
Finally, a decent matchup.
Dom said he's going to go fix his lag. So let's talk about this game.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs are going to win this game. I saw a stat about Justin Herbert that was very concerning. And when you talk about the best quarterbacks in the league and all these guys have been getting paid, he got a big contract this offseason. Lamar, Hurts, Burrow, they all got paid. So when you pay a guy, you're supposed to be able to come through in the big games, in the big moments.
Right.
Against the Dallas Cowboys, another interception in the fourth quarter, which pretty much sealed the win for the Cowboys. Since 2020, when he came into the league, he has 13 interceptions in the fourth quarter of one-score games. So, in other words, Justin Herbert is a good quarterback. He's a guy that's going to put up good, big stats. He's going to, he may have like some good throws, some highlights, but he is not that kind of guy in the big moments. And I think that's a problem, especially when you're playing against a guy like Patrick Mahomes twice a year. So it's it's a no-brainer for me. I'm picking the Chiefs. I just don't trust Herbert to get it done. And I don't have any reason to.
Yeah. I mean, and the crazy part is people will say that the Chiefs still have yet to be the Chiefs this season. And even there, there's Dom.
They would be correct.
And even still, they haven't picked us up, and I still don't trust the Chargers. Dom's probably going to say it here in a minute. Chargers going Charger, just like they did against the Cowboys. The crazy part is last week when you hold Dak Prescott to only 20 points, you're supposed to win that game theoretically. Still couldn't get it done. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Chiefs in this one. For some reason, Chargers and Chiefs, they like every other game it like delivers, but the Chiefs just like find a way to win. I'm gonna say Chiefs 30-23. We might see can Herbert do it moment, and then
the answer is no.
Dom, what you got?
So it's week 7, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers are 3-3. Right?
Right.
Yep.
I'm going to say for these starting this week, going the next 4 to 5, Chargers are going to not Charger. Don't ask me how. Chargers win this game. I don't know how, but they win.
How are the Chargers going to not Charger?
Because they always do that sometime throughout the year. They either Charger at the beginning of the year or the end of the year, but somewhere in the middle there, they try to fool you. And this is where they start to try to fool you.
So did you hear my stat about Justin Herbert? 13 interceptions in one score game in the fourth quarter, one score game since he came to the league, 2020. That's the most in the league.
Oof.
So that's the definition of charging. If that's not charging, I don't know what is. So that's why I don't feel comfortable picking them in a game like this. But we could move on. What's our next game?
Your game.
Here we go. Big, huge game with the Eagles coming off of their loss to the New York Jets and Miami, fresh off the win against Carolina. Battle of two Alabama quarterbacks, Tua replacing Jalen Hurts in the national championship, went on to win that game, and Jalen Hurts transferred to Oklahoma. We all know that story. That's probably going to be the story that everyone talks about throughout the week. Definitely going to be a really interesting matchup. I got to say, the Eagles did not play well at all as an offense. And if you turn the ball over 4 times, you're going to have no chance in hell of winning this game. So you got to take care of the football. The one area I think the Eagles can excel is limiting the amount of times that the offense of Miami is going to be on the field. Miami they're going to be able to score quick. Like, they're going to score a lot of points. I don't think our defense is going to be able to hold them. But the Eagles have going for them is that offensive line is having long, sustained drives. The Eagles are one of the top teams in the league in time of possession. So they're just going to beat you down and wear you down as the game goes on. So if they limit the amount of times that they have the ball, take care of the football, execute in the red zone, the Eagles are going to get a bounce back win. I'm not losing faith in the team. I know it was a bad game, but I think Hurts is going to come out, going to have everybody on Sunday Night Football watching, and the Eagles going to make a statement that, yes, we are still a legit team. We just had a bad week. Eagles.
Oh. Typically, this would be a game where, you got these two teams, and it's like, okay, so who's the home team? Eagles. Oh, okay, I'm picking Eagles, I'm still picking the Eagles in this one. As far as the two questions, I actually think Tua outduels Hurts, but Hurts wins the game. It may even, don't be shocked if it comes down to a game-winning drive and Hurts makes the play at the time, an A.J. Brown touchdown, Swift up the middle for a 30-yard score, something like that. But it's going to be a shootout. Leave your defenses at home type of game. I've got it high scoring. I'm going to say Eagles 31-27.
Okay, good pick.
Go ahead, Dom.
I'm with James on this. Wait, I agree with everything James said. And as I always say, in this new different,
hold on, we're going home.
In this new different pass-happy NFL, the same things that have always won games will still always win you games. Time possession, running the ball, keeping it out of the offense's hands. The line tells me they slightly favor the Dolphins because they gave the Eagles 2 points rather than 3, but
yep.
There's literally nothing on the Dolphins roster to me that's better than anything on the Eagles roster. The Eagles have the better quarterback.
They have Tyreek.
The better O-line, the better defense across the board. I don't even see it being that close. Low scoring, but I've got the Eagles 20-7.
Low scoring?
Yep.
The Dolphins do not have a good defense, though.
Yeah, they've been having to
I totally disagree. It's going to be a high scoring game.
20-7. Double it. 40-14.
Both teams score 30 in this game. I'm confident. But anyway, I guess we'll leave it there. And our last matchup is going to be the Minnesota Vikings versus San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, the 49ers are going to be upset. They're going to be motivated that they lost. Just like the Eagles are going to be motivated they lost. This is going to be a brutal game for the Minnesota Vikings. They're going to get destroyed. Like the 49ers are going to win this game by 3 touchdowns. That's my prediction.
Even with those injuries, because we don't know if C-Mac's going to play. We don't know if Debo's going to play.
And then Jefferson's not playing.
Jefferson ain't playing. Trent Williams is out.
It's also prime time. Kirk sucks in prime time. The list goes on and on.
Kurt Cousins?
Kurt Cousins. Kurt. And he will revert back to third Cousins because there is no Jefferson. Yeah, they have Madison. He's all right. But even with no C-Mac, or potentially no C-Mac, or potentially no Debo, or Trent Williams, who's arguably your best O-lineman, they still are a 7-point favorite, still a touchdown favorite. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Niners in this one. The Niners, I'm gonna say 30-13. I'll be nice and give the Vikings 13 points, but I'm gonna say 30-13. Dom, who you got?
The Niners by a lot more than 17. For the handful of crazy high spreads that we've seen in these last couple weeks that I said I wouldn't take because the NFL, like Vegas must be drunk because for them to only give the Niners 7 points, like get out of here because yet again, especially with Jefferson being hurt, the Vikings have no players or position groups that are any better than any of the Niners players or position groups. So yeah, Niners by a bunch. Maybe not so high scoring. I'm thinking 24-10. But yeah, Niners in a walkover.
All right, we all say all Niners.
So that about does it for tonight, guys. You can catch me on Silent Sports later. I'm coming on Confidential to talk about the Phillies run. I'm hyped about doing that, as I am hyped for Red October. The Phillies have been balling out. I'm also going to talk about the Astros and the Rangers series, so be sure to check that out. And check out the show on Friday. We're going to have a loaded lineup for you guys. Sneak preview. Which team should be more concerned, the Eagles or the 49ers after losing their first loss? Caleb Williams says he supposedly, allegedly, whatever team he gets drafted by needs to give him part ownership stock. So I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to tell you guys to tune in to Friday because we're going to have something for you.
I'm going to give a spoiler. Caleb Williams, you are a sports moron.
Well, let's talk about it on Friday, guys. We will see you later on. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.